Okay, I got something to get off my chest. So here it is. Bonjour. Welcome to another video. I saw it. I saw what's going on. ICE agents are terrorizing innocent people all over the USA, all over the states, all over the United States. The big immigration raids in Los Angeles. Yeah, yeah, I just saw a senator from California being arrested for simply asking a question. Asking a question to someone, a woman who's in charge of Homeland Security. He was arrested for simply asking a question. Then I saw some lawyer in New York being arrested for attending a court case involving some immigrants. He's being arrested by masked unknown people who could be ICE and or just some unknown people, random people wearing masks, just snatching this guy up. And President Donald Trump, I remember he threw a parade to celebrate the founding of the US Army and mixed it in with his birthday with a French style parade. Yeah, kind of like France having a parade for their military during Bastille Day. And nobody didn't show up. And people went on social media and just bashing Trump, just bashing him. Giving happy crying faces, imaging faces, just laughing at him, just talking a lot of shit about him on social media. And Donald Trump deserves it because he's a piece of garbage. And all of this, and throwing in the authoritarian police state fascism that's going on here in the US because of Donald Trump. I'm just going to say this. It's the people who voted for Donald Trump. They're the reason why he's in the White House. That's right. People who voted for him, people who didn't vote. I'm one of the people who didn't vote at all. Yeah, back in 2024. And weak corporate neoliberal Democrats, they allowed Trump to be in the White House. Trump is in the White House because of all of these people. Yeah. Weak, pathetic politicians from a party that has a donkey as their mascot, and dumb voters who voted for Trump. And the people who voted for Trump suckered them in by telling them, hey, I'm going to lower the prices of groceries and everything because everything costs too much. Hook, line, and sinker. These people who voted for Trump, they voted for him. Trump just suckered him in and just did the opposite. And now you got all this authoritarian crap going on here in the US under Trump. I mean, yeah, and it's just crazy, and I mean, the pathetic people in the Democratic Party and people who voted for Trump. I mean, it's like, you know, they're responsible for Donald Trump returning to the White House. They are responsible for this fat orange lunatic, this child, to be back in the White House. And nobody stops and just ask themselves this. Say, hey, I'm the reason why Trump is in the White House. Nobody says anything. It's all about just bashing Trump and ripping them apart. And talking about all the fascism and authoritarianism that he's causing all over the U.S. Yeah, I see it. You know, the United States is now officially an authoritarian, tyrannical dictatorship country. And you know, I'm going to an authoritarian, tyrannical dictatorship country, China, in the fall, going on a cruise. You know, I'm not going to be in that country for very long because I'm going to sail from there to South Korea, Japan, and back. So I'm not going to stay in China for very long. But anyway, you know, going back to like all this authoritarianism going on in this country, ICE agents are snatching people up and terrorizing people. A U.S. senator being arrested for simply asking a question about like what Trump is doing, Homeland Security and whatnot. I don't remember. And a lawyer who's attending a court case involving an immigrant, he gets snatched up by goons with wearing masks. Yeah, and this lawyer he just asked him he just told him who he was and why he was there. They just ignored him and they just took him away. He asked him a question. Why? Where are you taking me? Nothing. Yeah, I mean, these dumb voters who voted for Donald Trump, weak Democrats of the Democratic Party, who is weak, neoliberal, corporate, pathetic. Yeah, people like California Governor Gavin Newsom, former Vice President Kamala Harris, and a lot of them. They are the reason why Trump is in the White House. You know, and this country is divided. And the problem is, you know, why this country will never get better because everybody is divided. Everybody doesn't want the same thing. Everybody's not for the same thing. Excuse me. Everybody's not for the same thing. Everybody wants different things. Everybody's not for the same thing. And that's the problem. You know, and I look at the Democratic Party. I mean, this party supposed to fight for the middle class / working poor, the sick, the poor, the disabled. This party should be fighting for regular, ordinary, everyday Americans who get up and go to work every day. They should be fighting for these people, and they're not because they're incredibly weak. You know, it's funny, like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and all of these Americans who shit on Trump over that parade he threw to celebrate the U.S. Army creation and his birthday. These people are jumping behind a computer screen and a keyboard and just typing comments and just trashing Trump. And yeah, Trump deserves it. But these people who who just trash Trump, they got themselves to blame because he's in the White House. And they're the reason why he's in the White House. It's funny, here in the U.S., people are brainwashed and taught to blame themselves and not society. And I look at society here in the U.S., society never acknowledges or never admits that it is the reason why why all these mass shootings are happening. It never ask themselves, hey, I torment and I abuse and rip these normal guys apart, and that's why these guys turn into monsters and go on mass shootings and school shootings. And I'm the reason why I give all this toxicity. I'm very toxic and dogmated. I'm very toxic towards people because I give off a lot of toxicity. And I've been trashed by a lot of people here on this YouTube channel throughout the years, and some of the people in the past who are Americans who come onto my channel and leave hateful comments to trash me, to insult me, and inflict all this toxicity towards me. It's basically just tear me down. Yeah, it kind of hurt me, but now I'm just used to it now. And these people who did all this stuff to me, they're not hurting me. They're hurting themselves. A lot of these Americans who are very toxic, who like to shit on people, like to tear people down, these people ain't about nothing anyway. And they're nothing. I mean, they're so dirt poor, they're struggling, broke as a joke. These broke ass people who can barely survive. They don't make enough money on their job. They're barely scraping by. And they're just saying for my mother. I mean, these people, they don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. Basically, these people ain't worth a dime. I'm not trying to bash all Americans. I'm just bashing the Americans who ain't shit, who like to talk a lot of shit, who like to tear people down. And they can't admit that, they just they're the ones that, they're the reason why, Donald Trump is in the White House. They're the reason why all these mass shootings are happening, because they shit on all these people who just turn into monsters, just go around killing people. And I don't need to do that. I'm not going to grab a gun and go around and kill and shoot people. Fuck that. I'm not going to do that. I ain't going to mess up my life over some broke ass American who ain't shit. Yeah. And don't get me started on these Americans who are so educated and they look down on uneducated and they look down on uneducated Americans who can't spell simple words, who can barely read. I mean, they can't find a country on a map. I mean, these educated Americans go after these Americans who lack education. And they do this, they go after them by saying stuff like this. Oh, you misspelled that word. Oh, You should say it like this, not that. All this shit. You know, I don't like people who are educated and just let their education that they received from a college or a university. I don't like these people who take their knowledge and let it all go to their head. I can't stand those people. You know, if I was an educated and if I was an educated American, if I had a college degree or a university, if I had a college degree or a university degree, yeah, if I went to places like Yale and Stanford and Harvard, or any of these big universities and colleges here in the US, I will never, ever put someone down who's uneducated. 'Cause let's face it, it's the education system here in the US. It's broken, You know, the United States doesn't value education, and it doesn't. Unlike, the United Kingdom, um, the United Kingdom values education. Other countries in the world value education. The United States doesn't. Yeah, I remember someone said that the education system in Germany is bad, but I don't know anything about other countries. So, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about them. So, I'm going to watch it because I don't want to get chewed out by someone from another country. You know, yeah, you know, I'm not a genius. I don't know everything. And yeah, in the past, some people made fun of how I talk in videos in the past, but I don't give a shit anymore. So, to all those people who made fun of how I talk in these videos, and just hang on to every word I say and just go and mock me in the comments and also go and tell me you should say it like this, don't say it like that. Go fuck yourself. Okay? Yeah, let's face it, Americans don't live long as people from other countries do. Yeah, they have a low life expectancy because they're under a shitty, broken, dysfunctional, fragmented, bureaucratic, pay to play healthcare system. People who live in countries with a different form or version of universal healthcare, they live longer. They live longer than Americans because they have preventative care. Something that the healthcare system in the US don't have. The United States, this country is just a gigantic mountain pile of shit covered in dead cockroaches, a corpse of a vulture, and a rainbow going over it. That's the United States right there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just fed up with this country. I'm I'm sick and tired of living here. And I am. But I guess, I probably can't move to any country of my choosing because I don't know, because of Donald Trump, other countries hate Americans. But I'm gonna say this to people in foreign countries. I have nothing to do with Donald Trump. I don't like him. I don't want to have anything to do with him. What he's doing to all of you is not right at all. Donald Trump is lower than shit. Matter of fact, he's lower than dog shit. He's lower than goat shit. Llama shit. Deer shit. Squirrel shit. Elephant shit. Rhinoceros shit. Giraffe shit. He's lower than all of that shit. Yeah. Good God. Good googly moogly. Yeah. Once again, to all of these Americans who are shitting on Trump Sunday on social media after that disastrous parade he threw on his birthday and for the U.S. military, you guys are the blame for him being in the White House. This goes out to the people who voted for him. And the weak corporate neoliberal conservative light Democratic Party that houses a lot of weak Democrats. Democrats who are weak. Yeah. California Gavin Newsom is one of them. All of these people are the reason why that big fat orange bastard is in the White House. I am done with this country. I am done with the U.S. Yeah. I'm done. I just want to just get out of this country and move to another country. If I have to create wealth to get out of the USA, so be it. So be it. So, that's all I gotta say in this video. Yeah, I didn't feel like showing myself in this video. I'm doing this video in the dark of my house. It's nighttime. I think it's after 11 p.m. So, after I get done posting this video, I'm just gonna go to bed, get some sleep. So, that's all I gotta say in this video. Merci beaucoup. And oh yeah, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for subbing to me. I appreciate that. If you like the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, dislike it. Leave your comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Au revoir. Cheers. One more thing before I end this video. It was the guy that got arrested in New York was a comptroller. He was a candidate for New York mayor, and he was going to defend some illegal. He would defend some immigrants in court on their behalf, and he got arrested So I didn't mention that. So sorry about that. I just found out about that. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at there. I'm gonna leave it at that. Goodbye.